Welcome back. I am excited to talk about kitchens again with you. I know this is just an ongoing topic, but I want to touch on 5 different things that I feel like often do not get done in a kitchen, and they make such a difference. These are my top 5 ways to elevate your kitchen. None of them are I don't think super surprising or super difficult necessarily, but I do think that they will bring just a wonderful layering and texturing going on in your kitchen that maybe you've never had before. So let's get started. The first is lighting. Now, often you're going to have the can lighting, and I'm not a huge fan of can lighting, but I know that it is a necessary add-on in a kitchen, and that is, I think, the best place to have can lighting. But beyond that, I want you to think about what you have hanging over your kitchen sink. Do you have under cabinet lighting, which is very inexpensive? Do you have just a surprise little lamp in a corner or on the island or something? Just creating more ambience and interest and warmth and glow. I think that is the first thing I would change in a kitchen. We had this beautiful pendant light that we got from a 100-year-old estate in town, and we put it together. I thought we were going to put it over the sink, and I ended up not liking it as much as I thought. And the one over our sink right now is from Amazon. In order to get it to be centered directly over the sink, we had to actually install it to the right of the sink and then swag it over from a hook, and I am happy with how it turned out. And then we installed under cabinet lighting. We have a lamp on my sewing cabinet in the corner, and it's super cozy. I love not having the can lighting on in the evening especially, and it's just so inviting in a way that we haven't had before. And you can see one of our lights does have a cord coming down, and I'm just going to paint it to match the wall, and we lined it up to go right through the groove in the beadboard. So you can always do that too. Don't be detoured by having to have a cord show once in a while. Okay, the second thing I think you should think about in a kitchen are the textiles. Now, textiles will mean everything from a rug to your tea towels to your aprons hanging on hooks to your curtains. So don't neglect your windows. A lot of times I will suggest a Roman shade over a sink like I have in my kitchen, but the window is pretty small in my kitchen, and so I did not opt for a Roman shade. I just took a runner, actually a thrifted runner that I had. I cut it in half and I made it into cafe curtains for this back kitchen door. And then my idea is that I want to put a curtain underneath the sink. That's very French, very European. And I ordered this fabric off Etsy. It came from Australia. I can tell it's not antique. A lot of times it's actually really difficult to find antique fabric because it deteriorates after so long. So this one is definitely machine made, but it is embroidered, and I loved that. It's a sheer with a beautiful white embroidery on it. Now, Colby is not excited about this idea, and so I'm going to cautiously tiptoe with the progress of this look. He really loves the cabinets because they were expensive, and we just painted them, and that was expensive, and the knobs were expensive. So he's just leaning more into the functionality and the quality. And he's like, he said, we don't want to just put a sheet under there. And I go, oh no, it's not a sheet. It's not a sheet. It's actually beautiful fabric. And I think he wasn't convinced by my rewording of that, that it wasn't a sheet. Anyway, what I ended up doing after removing the doors and using a tension rod, I thought, gosh, it does look a little bit cheap. So now I'm not even sure I want this look. I ended up just putting the curtain over the doors. I put the doors back up. I put the curtains over the doors. I actually just masking taped them in places and not a permanent solution. It's basically a sampling of this idea, both for Colby and myself, to see if we like the look. And then I will make a decision in the future. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. Sometimes you have to do that when you have different opinions and different values going into a home. You have to try a sampling of the new idea and then decide in the future. I also have some long drapes that I want to install in the big window of this kitchen, and they're a brown block print pattern that looks really nice with the floor. So I will be doing that as well. But I just want to encourage you to open your eyes to where you can add the softness of textiles. There's really nothing else like them to drape. Even, I'm not going to do this, but I could drape the doorway into the laundry room that's off of this kitchen. I could add a drape and just pull it back and have it permanently pulled back. But I've seen that. That looks really beautiful. Don't neglect adding fabric intentionally into your kitchen. Now, the third tip I have would be artwork. I love a really gorgeous oil painting in any kitchen. I think it's surprising. I think it's elegant. And it really makes a kitchen look intentional and not sterile and utilitarian. So I have this picture. This is one of my favorite family pictures. It's black and white. I printed it in a black and white, but it's an old picture of our family, and I have it to the left of our sink. The silver is not quite what I want in the new look in this kitchen, so I found this brown wood frame. Matches our floors really well. I really like how it plays off of the copper with the pots hanging over the range here. And just a side note, I was really shocked. I put this on my Instagram stories, but I went to Target recently. It was for this frame. I needed an 8x10 frame. I went to Target to find a frame because historically they've had really good things. And first of all, I couldn't even find the frames. I wandered all over and then finally found a half of an aisle of really the most basic frames you can imagine and left disappointed. And I went across the parking lot to Home Goods and found a whole bunch of frames to choose from. That's where I found that wood one. So sad to say, I think Target's dropping the ball with frames these days. Now, I have this laundry sign, which it was a Hearth and Home. Speaking of Target, my daughter got it for me for Christmas, and I decided I actually want it to be more gold, and so I'm gilding it here. You'll find me gilding things often just to give that super metallic look that even spray paint and rub and buff cannot give you. You have to gild it, or it has to be brass to get that shiny gold. So I did that and added it above the doorway into the laundry room. Think about sweet little signs and things you can do to add character and a story to your kitchen. And then the last thing I'm going to do is frame 3 of my favorite recipes. They're family recipes. They're in my mother's writing and my grandmother's handwriting. They're foods that I remember eating. There's sweet little notes on them about the history of where the recipe came from, where we ate it in different places as a family. And I just think that is a no-brainer. Beautiful, sentimental piece of artwork that you can add to a kitchen. I love linen backing, and so that's an easy thing too. If you can't get the recipe to fit in a frame, you could just put a piece of linen over it and put the cardboard back on. This is mint punch served at Camp Sherman from my Aunt Maxine. All these things I know don't mean anything to you, but they mean a lot to anyone in our family. These places, these times, these flavors. I couldn't get it to lay straight for this frame. I don't have glass for this frame either. So I'm gonna Mod Podge it onto a piece of cardboard. That's a common technique that I use when I'm framing something. And then I don't have glass, so I need the little card to stay in place. I just use double-sided sticky tape. And I'm gonna make just a simple gallery wall with these sweet recipes. Tip number 4, hardware. Do not neglect your hardware. And this is actually where a lot of my budget went, and I think that's appropriate. It's really the jewelry of the space. Lighting is also considered jewelry in my mind, and faucets, but knobs are a good place to spend money. I found this beautiful pole. I guess you'd call it a pole. It's for my pocket door. It has bees on it, and I was a beekeeper for 10 years, and so that instantly drew me in. It's from an antique hardware store online, which I'll link for you. It's not an important thing in the kitchen, what we have on the pocket door, but switching it out, it just made it my kitchen and my story. And that's what I want you to do in your kitchen. Think about your outlet covers, your light switch plates, anything you can do to take it up a notch. I think it makes all the difference. I got these knobs off Etsy. They're very heavy. They're solid brass. I think they're from Morocco or something. They take a long time to get in. I really love them. I spent a lot of money on these knobs. I'll link them for you, but I just really, really love them. And I want you to prioritize your hardware in your kitchen. Noticing as I age how important this kitchen is becoming to me. It always was important, but now it's definitely becoming a hub of celebration and reunion when the kids come home. Now, another thing that I'm noticing as I'm aging, which I never paid attention to before, was the deterioration of the human body. There are things that happen beyond wrinkles. Your cheeks get thinner. You've got less of a straight jawline right there. The lips get thin. And I did a deep dive a couple years ago into the options that we have as women for aging gracefully and naturally. And we're given this line that it's Botox and filler, Botox and filler, those are your options. Well, I wanted to know, just out of curiosity, what are our options as far as less invasive, less expensive, more natural products out there. And I came across this amazing company that is one of my best kept beauty secrets for anti-aging. It's called City Beauty. I'm gonna give you my top 2 favorites that you must start with, you must try, you must stock up. First of all, the lip gloss, and just get the clear if you want. I've got the sparkling cider and the clear. City Beauty has come up with a product. It's an actual lip gloss with hyaluronic acid in it. I mean, there's like basically a cult following with this lip gloss. Anytime you would reach for chapstick, you reach for City Lips instead, and it will change your lips. The second thing you need to have on hand are the hydro masks. These are line smoothing hydro masks that take about 20 minutes. You put them on, lay down, you can feel them working, and when you peel them off, your skin looks instantly younger. I would do this twice a week. All of their products are free from parabens, phthalates, sulfates, and mineral oils, so they are just doing an outstanding job in the beauty industry, and I am so thankful that we have options. If you want to get started with City Beauty today, I did get you a coupon code, of course. She Holds Dearly will get you 20% off on their website, and let me know in the comments below if you use this or what kind of problems you're trying to fix with aging. Okay, last tip, plants. I normally do not have plants in my kitchen. I just feel like that's not practical and we need counter space, but I am going to bring in plants. Now, one thing you're going to find when you go and look for houseplants in Home Depot or a hardware store or something, everything kind of looks mid-century modern and kind of has a jungle feel to it. So I'm going to give you 4 plants. I got this list off Liz Marie Galvin's Instagram page. She says, look for zonal geraniums, angel vine, English ivy, maidenhair, fern, and rosemary. So I tried my best to find those. This is what I came home with. I know the rosemary will be very forgiving to me, but I'm a little nervous about the fern. And I just tucked them into different spaces, different levels in the kitchen for that fresh greenery, which looks amazing in any room. And I think that that is going to be a good touch in this kitchen. So challenge yourself to try some plants. Maybe you have to do faux, but try some off this list if you're a traditional decorator specifically and you don't want to do the mid-century modern looking plants. And that will bring a whole nother level to the dimension of your kitchen as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like more resources, I help women connect and learn more about God in my behind the scenes group and bespoke design retreats. I also help women expand their talents with my Elite Decorating Academy and seasonal decor boxes. I will leave the links to these resources in the description box below.